It's the severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado, but the best area for that to be, if it is on the ground or if it is about to be on the ground, is going to be up in Metcalfe County, just across the county line from Cumberland County. So we have kind of the northern and northeastern part of Monroe County and the northwestern and kind of central areas of Cumberland County that are included within this tornado warning. This is that new warning that just got issued, and it's going to go until 6:45. So if you're in, I'm going to try to read off some of these town names. This is going to be for Monroe County and Cumberland County up here in our southern Kentucky part of the viewing area. Cyclone, Persimmon, Rockbridge, Debris, Grider, Leslie, Burkesville all need to be in your safe place right now. Don't know if it's actually on the ground right now, but we know for certain that it has been on the ground at points when it was a little bit further north. But now it keeps on working its way down further south, and that tornado warning has been issued for parts of our area. Right now it looks like the best area of rotation, I heard Katie saying it earlier too, a little bit to the east of Beaumont. You can see our computer putting up this spinning cylinder on it where the best area of rotation is going to be. That's east of Beaumont, and again, this is in Metcalfe County, so this is just outside of our viewing area, but it is more than likely that storm at least is going to hold together for a little bit longer, keep on going south, and then eventually wind up in Monroe and Cumberland County. That's the tornado warning that we have in effect for right now. We also have some other severe thunderstorm warnings, but that is the only tornado warning that we have in effect for anywhere here in our viewing area right now. We have started to see a few showers pop up along and south of Interstate 40. I'll pop lightning on real quick to see if there's any lightning with those. It does not look like there's any lightning with those just yet on I-40 here in Middle Tennessee. But more showers and thunderstorms will be possible as we go through the rest of the night. We have a severe thunderstorm watch now. It has been in place for southern Kentucky until 9 o'clock tonight, so a few more hours on that. And then that severe thunderstorm watch, another one was issued for Middle Tennessee, and we're going to see that one go until midnight. So it's going to take it a little bit longer to get through. And then on top of that, we have a flood threat as well. We've had a lot of rain over the past month or so, and we're just getting more and more of that added today. Ground's already saturated. Could see some flash flooding issues as well. So just be sure to stay alert for any of this. And as this line drops further south into Tennessee, I think the ingredients for tornadoes are going to get less and less. It's just a low end tornado threat day for us, but just still have a way to receive any sort of alerts or warnings in case a warning does get issued for where you're at while you may be getting ready for bed or have fallen asleep. Make sure your phone's on loud so it'll wake you up.
All right, thanks so much, Brett. And just kind of looking into this storm a little more as you were discussing other threats and what we can expect as we head deeper into the night. The reason why we are on television now is for this tornado warning. Our radar is now picking up on circulation within the storm here, indicating what we were just talking about east of Beaumont in Metcalfe County, Kentucky. This is going to move south into Cumberland County, may clip Monroe County, and that is why we have the warning that is part of Monroe County as well. But for those of you that are near Waterview, Debris, Leslie, all in Cumberland County, need to make sure that you're taking your shelter now from this storm. This is a heightened situation with this storm. It is an observed storm, has a history of producing damage on the ground near Wax, Kentucky. That is on Nolan Lake, if you know where that is, in Kentucky. Passed over Highway or Interstate 65 near Mumfordville, and has had a consistent warning on it since. We take a look back at the track path, and it may look a little messy here because we're looking farther away from the radar, but this gives you a good history of how long this storm has been on the ground, or at least has had consistent rotation. So we're looking at, here's where Wax is approximately. That's where Nolan Lake is in Kentucky. We're crossed over Interstate 65, Mumfordville right here, just north of Horse Cave and the National Park. And then as it continued to work its way south and east, made a little bit more of a southern track here through Metcalfe County, and is now knocking on the doorstep of Cumberland County, where the intense rotation continues. In addition to that, you can see some weaker paths of rotation even still here. One now approaching Simpson County, which is severe thunderstorm warned on. So the only active warning that we have at this hour is the tornado warning is in Monroe and Cumberland counties, but I'm keeping a close eye on this one here, passing over 65 near Hillsdale. in Simpson County, getting ready to move into Allen County. Yep, looks like it. It looks like that other one here.
Yeah, it really does.
Rotation's picking up on it.
Is that the same storm that was moving through northern Logan County? I don't know if it was or not. But it's kind of got that same shape to it.
Yeah, it sure does. You know what? You might be right. If we go back the last hour, sure is.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yep.
Huh.
So this one here is suspicious, we'll say. We'll keep an eye on it, but it is severe warned on, and the main part of this storm here, moving it more into Allen County, is going to be Butlersville, right around Hillsdale and Blackjack. On the other side of 65, though, this is just north and east of Franklin, Kentucky, showing a little bit of suspicion as far as perhaps some rotation within the storm. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Again, our immediate concern continues to be for those in Monroe and more so Cumberland County. This does include Burkesville. So please, for anyone within the polygon, make sure that you are taking your tornado precautions right now near Marrowbone, Grider, Burkesville, Leslie, and points north into Metcalfe County. So this is going to be where we're continuing to see impressive rotation within the storm. A lot of times these storms will cycle, so we'll see it tighten up and then we'll weaken a little bit, might tighten up and touch the ground, then pick up again. But this has been an impressive storm to watch over the past hour at least, where we've seen some decent rotation.
Looks like the best rotation right now is, I mean, just directly over the Metcalfe and Cumberland County line. So right here, if you can see where I'm pointing at. So that's where we're looking at some of the best rotation of this storm. So if there is a tornado or if there is one that could be developing really soon, it's going to be right there in that area. We're talking the far northwestern part of Cumberland County and the far northeastern part of Monroe County, where we're seeing some of this. But I think it's more so the northwestern part of Cumberland County who has the most imminent threat if there is actually a tornado on the ground. I have still not seen any sort of confirmation of this actually being a tornado on the ground, a confirmed tornado. Again, the National Weather Service office in Louisville issued that tornado warning because of radar indicated rotation. They saw some tight enough wind signature on the radar to go ahead and put that tornado warning right there on that storm. But like Katie was just talking to, this storm has a history of producing tornado or two tornadoes. We've seen the damage reports that have been just a little bit outside of our viewing area. Tornado moved through some homes. Heavily damaged some of those, brought quite a few trees down. Can't say for 100% certainty that there's a tornado on the ground right now, but you got to treat these like they are, because if it's not on the ground right now, it could be dropping down at any moment. So Waterview, Debris, Leslie, Burkesville, even on over into parts of Monroe County. So areas like Rockbridge, Cyclone, go ahead and just get to your safe place and stay in there for a little bit longer. This tornado warning set to go until 6:45. If nothing changes, that would put 31 more minutes on this tornado warning right here if this does not weaken and get canceled early. We have a few more severe thunderstorm warnings that we're still watching too, but for the most part, Middle Tennessee is still very quiet. I was showing you these little showers that have developed. They're small showers, but they could be dropping quite a bit of rainfall. Right here, this is going to be western Davidson County, Interstate 40. Earlier there was no lightning, and there's still no lightning with those, but we have now started to see some heavier showers begin to build up in parts of Middle Tennessee. But this is the main event right here that's going to keep on dropping further south, and that's going to leave us with a better chance for those stronger severe thunderstorms. Middle Tennessee in that severe thunderstorm watch until midnight, so we're going to be keeping our eyes out for any sort of storm that tries to get strong or that starts to rotate. But right now it's a severe thunderstorm watch, because the main threat with these storms is strong damaging winds, but you just can't 100% rule out a tornado. And there's that very low-end tornado threat for today, but even on these low-end threat days, they can validate, and we can get those confirmed tornadoes. We've already seen at least one or two of those in Kentucky already this afternoon. We're still watching this area. This is the storm that Katie and I were just looking at. This is going to be for parts of Allen County and right on the edge of Simpson County. This is going to be just a little bit to the east of Interstate 65. That storm is still just severe thunderstorm warned. I'll see if there's any sort of update on that.
They're going to actually extend that warning into Tennessee.
Okay, so this one right here that we're...
Yeah, part of Sumner County and into Macon County. So They said that they were looking at some intense winds, most likely near Butlersville, Chapel Hill with this storm. This is also the one, excuse me, the one that Brett and I were just watching with this little hook on the back end here. We'll continue to watch it, but I think that the main concern still continues to be heavy rainfall with this one, and then the potential for winds up to 60 miles per hour. Rotation is showing up some detection right along the county line there. It says it's going to be east of 65 near Gold City, Mount Ariel, McElroy Ford, near Pope. There is a little bit here. So let me do, this is one way you can tell what we may or may not be looking at. I'm going to circle that here where our rotation is, and that fairly good, lining up where the that little appendage is right there, the little hook. So we'll keep an eye on it. For those that are in more of Allen County, Mount Ariel, maybe looking at perhaps some rotation within this storm. In addition to that, you can see the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended more into Tennessee. So winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, the main concern at the moment here, but these storms can be sneaky sometimes and produce a quick spin up. So we'll want to keep a close eye on this one, as we're also monitoring the tornado warning out of Metcalfe County, pushing more into Cumberland County. Does include Monroe County, but I would say the better rotation at this time looks to be spinning more into Cumberland County. Just to the east of Debris, Waterview, along Highway 90 near Marrowbone. We're going to be looking at rotation near Green Valley Road, Caney Fork Road. I'm going to say that's going to be where best rotation is at the moment. Would be rain wrapped if we were seeing anything in progress, but it is now pushing more into the northern portions of Cumberland County. We'll put a quick track on it here. These are not moving. I'm going to estimate them moving at about
I can tell you real quick
30,
if you want me to.
30 miles an hour, 35.
Yeah, you're not moving too fast. 25 miles an hour
25.
southeast.
Wow, even slower.
I know.
That's not good news to hear just for the rain. I'm concerned about the rain. So this will be approaching Butlersville in the next 15 minutes. So, you know, in addition to the fact that we're looking at a few tornadoes tonight, potential for severe storms producing 60 mile per hour winds, the rain is no joke. In fact, we look at these rain rates, and these are intense. And, you know, we're talking about storm moving 25 miles an hour and a rain rate of 7 inches. That's a good 2 inches. Quick 1, 2 inches, 3 inches of rain is possible with these storms, and that'll produce some flash flooding. So we want to keep a close eye on that. Our radar picking up detection now. I'm wondering if you checked in with Weather Service, see if they're saying anything about.
Let's see. That would be. No, I haven't seen any. Not seeing any updates on that right now.
I'll take that off for now. So we're keeping a close eye on this one. This is in County along the line. This is just right around McElroy Ford, north of Clare, west of Chapel Hill, and west of Scottsville, right around Mount Ariel, Old Franklin Road to Gold City, south of Temperance. Radar's picking up on a little bit of rotation there. It looks a little more menacing on reflectivity than it does on velocity, but rotation detection continues to pick up on something.
Yep.
So, and we have our own, I took it off, but we've got our little rotation detection here as well. So we'll keep a close eye on that. The wind is still no joke with these storms. We're looking at 60 mile per hour winds, intense rainfall that continues through Red Hill to Chapel Hill and down towards Adolphus. I'm going to look at here. Some of the rain rates within this storm are still 6-7 inches an hour too. So intense rain that'll continue here, and the atmosphere is juiced this evening, really, for more severe weather. As we zoom out again, not much going on in Middle Tennessee, but the atmosphere is ready to receive storms and maintain their strength for tonight. The atmosphere is ready to be quite active tonight, I think. So again, rain would be the main concern, along with gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour and perhaps a few tornadoes. That severe thunderstorm warning continues until midnight, and this is going to be the focus. So for those that may be watching in Columbia, Tullahoma, more towards McMinnville, I would say you're not completely out of the woods. The chance for thunderstorms still exists, especially for heavy rain, but the severe risk is going to be for those in pink, and I think a little higher even where we're at right now. So this could be a fairly active night for southern Kentucky and our counties along and north of I-40.
Yeah, it seems like the whole line has just been dropping down into our area, has just been severe warned. And when I was watching this earlier this afternoon, as it was moving up in the northern parts of Kentucky, kind of through the Louisville area, that whole line was either severe thunderstorm warned or tornado warned, and the same trend has continued as it's kept on dropping further south. And I wouldn't be surprised if it does that, especially up until it hits about Interstate 40 or so. And then maybe once it drops south of Interstate 40, the ingredients aren't quite as good. So hopefully those storms will weaken. And also those are the areas not included in that severe thunderstorm watch, about our southern two tiers or two rows of counties right here in Middle Tennessee. National Weather Service office in Nashville also talking about once this crosses over the state line, if it does, they're also going to be watching, though they are watching right now, that area of rotation that has produced that confirmed tornado that has been moving through parts of Kentucky. That tornado warned storm has now moved into our viewing area. This is going to be mainly in Cumberland County right now. It's that red flashing polygon that you can see on your screen right there. That is the only tornado warning that we have in effect for our viewing area, but it does have a history of producing tornadoes. So we are going to stick with that tornado warning right here for northern Cumberland County. If you're in Burkesville, you still need to be in your safe place. Leslie, Waterview, Debris, Ararat, you need to all stay in your safe place for a little bit longer until this storm passes through your area. We still have not seen any sort of confirmation on that tornado warned storm. But we're going to continue to watch that and see if the National Weather Service office up there in Louisville decides to extend that or maybe cancel that early. But we're going to wait and see on that. It's set to go until 6:45, so another 20 minutes remaining on that tornado warning right there. And then
let's see, this warning has been a consistent warning for at least a couple hours. So this goes back 2 hours. So it was warned on just around 4:20, 4:22, and we're now at 6. So it had a consistent warning attached to it. There became an observed in the purple box, and it has been warned on through Cumberland County. So it's been 2 hours. We're talking about it on our live stream beforehand, before we had any severe weather here, but something we were watching and noted that good 2 hours ago that we would keep an eye on it in case it decided to track toward Cumberland County, and now it is moving in.
I'm going back one more hour, and it looks like since about like 3:30 or so has been tornado warned. That's crazy.
Yeah.
For July, especially.
For July,
a long track
right.
tornado possible like this.
You know, we say that just because typically in the summer months we aren't in the favorable zone for severe weather, bigger severe weather events.
Yeah, it's usually our calmer time that we actually get a little bit of a break from the tornadoes.
Usually when we get a break.
Go.
I mentioned that last night in the broadcast too, how this is, it was something we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of today because it's our first more organized risk for severe weather that we've seen in a while. And we can get these types of events from time to time in the summer months, but we typically transition more into what we've been observing for much of July: hot afternoons, pop-up thunderstorms, mainly non-severe, but they drop heavy rainfall and can lead to flash flooding. And that's been what we've been dealing with. But today we have a front coming through, and that front, along with our atmosphere that's very favorable for strong thunderstorms, is a perfect recipe here for some of these stronger storms. But they are quite intense. I took the lightning off, so lots of lightning with these storms that continues. We currently have the tornado warning in Cumberland County and Monroe County. We have the severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County, parts of Macon County and into Simpson County, or Sumner County, excuse me. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning for northern Christian County, and that'll go until 6:45. So a lot of these storms, again, will be capable of producing heavy rainfall. We've got a few showers trying to pop up here in western Williamson County and into Davidson County. If we go over to our sky camera here, you can kind of see some of those clouds hanging around. Let's see what it looks like from Metro Center.
Doesn't look too bad from Metro
Doesn't
Center.
look too bad, I know, right? Let's see if I've got our city view camera. This looks north, so a little more stormy. You can see some of those lower clouds right here from our city view camera. So we've got plenty of juice for thunderstorms here in Nashville, and we're expecting, again, more of these storms here in town, probably closer to 9 o'clock, so another couple of hours. And I had this on loop too, just over we'll do 3 hours. Let's do 2 hours. 2 hours time. You notice how slowly these storms are moving. So they have drifted south, but this is over 2 hours. So you can see a couple of these storms here, and then the bigger line that's developing behind that, just over 2 hours time, has been through central and into southern Kentucky. And again, typically what we'll get with these lines of severe weather or bigger rounds of severe thunderstorms, we can get lines that are going 50, 60 miles an hour. So to get a 25-mile-an-hour line or cluster of thunderstorms, it's almost painful to see because, you know, heavy rain becomes a big problem. We still get those damaging wind gusts and those tornadoes, anything that's on the ground or possibly on the ground, they're just not moving very fast. So
Yep,
that's
and
time to do a lot of damage.
Katie, this the rotation on that storm that has moved in or is moving into Cumberland County, northern parts of Cumberland County, not looking as good as earlier. This looks pretty broad right here when we're looking at this around Waterview, pretty broad rotation. So not as concerning as it once was, the way it looked on radar with those strong winds. But the National Weather Service office saying that it is weaker and it is broader, the rotation is, but they're still waiting to see whether they switch that over to a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. So just like we've been saying now for the past several minutes while we've been on this tornado warning up here in Cumberland County, if you live in the, we're gonna actually zoom out just so we get a little bit of get our bearing straight right here. This is gonna be for the northwestern part of Cumberland County, right here around Burkesville, Grider, and you know, maybe that did tighten up a little bit right there on Waterview. Radar computer just put a better signature on that too with that cylinder that popped up. But if you live around Grider, Leslie, Burkesville, you need to go ahead and just stay in your safe place if you're already there. Ararat, Ellington, same for y'all down there. Stay in your safe place for a little bit longer until the storm clears your area and you have the green light. No more tornado warning for your area. We'll let you know when that happens. But for now, just go ahead and get to the lowest floor of whatever building you're in and stay away from any windows and put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you can. Katie's been showing you about the rainfall rates and how some of these storms are just dropping a lot of rain in a very short amount of time, and we have flood watches in effect for these areas as well. These are going to go all the way from the far southwestern portions of our viewing area on that diagonal stretch to the northeastern area. So every county that's highlighted here in green, that flood watch is going to continue. All of our counties in Middle Tennessee that are highlighted in this flood watch, that's going to go until 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, and then until 1 a.m. Wednesday morning for some of our counties up there in southwestern parts of central southern Kentucky. So flooding will be a threat that we continue to monitor. Some of those rainfall rates were just pretty crazy with some of those storms, and we've already seen all that ground. So the ground's already, or all that rain over the past month or so now. So the ground's already saturated, and it just can't hold a whole lot more in that short amount of a time, especially when the rainfall is that heavy. And it's still areas too. I'll show you this, and then we'll get back to radar. It's mainly going to be areas along and north of Interstate 40 that we're watching for the greatest chance for the strong damaging winds. Our southern 2 rows of counties pretty much in that level 1 out of 5 risk, and those are also the counties down there in green that are not included in that severe thunderstorm watch. But for every other county along and north of I-40 especially are included in that tornado or that severe thunderstorm watch until midnight for us right here in Middle Tennessee.
What I'm seeing here too, Brad, on radar, and it's kind of, you don't like to see it, but it also tells you too that our severe threat, or at least the tornado threat, may lessen as we head more into the evening hours. But what I'm seeing more here is everything's starting to cluster together, which would indicate more of a wind and rain concern transitioning into that, which is what we expected here in Tennessee. Our two main issues will be wind and rain, with a spin-up tornado risk. But the more that you see these storms that were out by themselves cluster together, we'll start to see this form more of a line, but again could indicate very heavy rain and training thunderstorms that could become a problem in the next couple of hours. So just in, let's see here, we'll do a 3-hour total. Some of these totals are, you know, a good 1 to 2 inches where we're seeing these stripes. And that's in line with where these severe thunderstorms are located right now. So that could easily lead to some training. And if we have storms behind that, when we have them over the same locations, flash flooding could be a problem for us here. So we don't want to ignore that as we move forward. Most of the action, if not all of the action, really is all into southern Kentucky. There are a few small storms here on our Nissan Stadium camera that you can see. And again, this is non-severe, and we'll zoom in pretty close. You can see just a quick little shower that's coming through here. Not overly concerned with this becoming severe at the moment. The better ingredients are going to be closer to that cold front that is more in southern Kentucky. So we'll keep an eye on these, but again, one there and one in Williamson County. Does have a little bit of lightning associated with it along 840 there, stretching out towards Hickman County.
Well, that's new. I've been watching that, so that recently just got that lightning going on with it.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on that one too. But I would say that the better really threat for severe weather is going to be up here along that front. So something we'll watch though. The tornado warning though does continue. Time is just after 6:30, and that warning goes until 6:45. The Weather Service out of Louisville, as Brett mentioned, again, they're still watching it. Want to make sure that it has in fact weakened before they decide to let it cancel. The rotation remains fairly broad near Waterview to Burkesville. So I would still make sure that you're in your safe spot. If we saw anything, it would be near Leslie to Waterview and just to the west of Burkesville. So that is going to be where we have, I think, our best area of rotation. With anything that is in progress, this would be where it's at. Right along Beech Grove Road from Waterview to Leslie. And that again is in Cumberland County, Kentucky, just to the west of Burkesville. That warning does continue to get trimmed back, so they're keeping an eye on it, and that's also good. And there you go. So new severe thunderstorm warnings come out for the area here. And that's telling us that the Weather Service no longer sees rotation strong enough to extend that tornado warning farther into Cumberland County, and they have replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's good news. We'll still keep a close eye on it here. Still a lot of rain, some wind up to 60 miles per hour, all possible. This is definitely a strong storm. The other severe thunderstorm warnings that we continue to monitor here continue in portions of Simpson County and into Allen County, Macon County, and into Sumner County. And a new severe thunderstorm warning here extended from Logan County through Simpson and portions of Warren County here. So we've got part of Simpson County that was under a warning, which was right here, and now a new warning has been issued. So these types of storms, again, will be capable of damaging winds, and that rainfall continues to be worrisome as we head deeper into the night.
I will say some good news, though. Once all this clears out of here tonight, I think it's actually looking pretty good. It's been really hot lately. Today we've had extreme heat warnings, we've had heat advisories, we've had the flood watches, we've had the severe weather threat. Once this clears on out of here,
throw it all at us.
Just boom, whatever you want, you got it. And then after this, it's going to look a lot nicer. So this front's going to kind of move in, help us clear out, dry us out, cool us off too. We're talking temperatures back in the mid and upper 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that's going to be better if you like it a little bit cooler, but then the heat returns. Moving on into early next week, could go up to the upper 90s or so by Monday, kind of looking ahead earlier on that. So it's going to get warm again. Just give it a little bit of time and enjoy this break once these rounds of storms pass through tonight.
And that's Mother Nature's way of saying, hey, we're still in July. I'll give you a bit of a break.
We are still in July, so none of this is out of the ordinary.
Yeah. We're still in July, so you can have your 80s for a few days, but we'll be back into the upper 90s by next week.
That's right.
The severe thunderstorm watch does continue here. This is going to be until midnight, so we're not out of the woods completely, but good news on the fact that they have let the tornado warning become a severe thunderstorm warning, the extension of that. So the warning is technically still in effect, but the fact that they have extended out the severe thunderstorm warning tells us that the rotation is no longer an imminent concern, but there is still some weak rotation within that storm. Did you happen to see, Brett, if they put a tornado possible on that? They did, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, tour possible. So we're still tracking it. We're still watching this here. I think with that for the back, we're going to go ahead and let this go back to programming for now. And you can see they've even trimmed back the warning more so. Yeah. Another very small tornado warning. I've seen a couple of those today. Yeah. So again, this one does include Burkesville, Leslie, Ararat, and that'd be until 6:45. But everywhere else, we continue to see a severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado remains possible within this storm here, and again, we don't want to let our guard down with this storm in particular. It has had the history of producing a destructive tornado up in Wax, Kentucky. We've been seeing reports out of there in Nolan Lake of structures that have been damaged and people pulled from buildings. So please make sure that you're staying on top of this here. But for now, we will go ahead and send it back to programming. We will be watching this closely, and we'll update you if we need to cut back in.